Coming up, we give you a major update in the disappearance of Molly Tibbetts.
And later on this Tuesday morning edition of DITV News, City Council candidates speak to the community.
Coming up in sports, we hear from the new Iowa softball coach.
And we get updates from Iowa volleyball team as they prepare for their upcoming season.
Rainy skies for a few more days, but no worries. The warm weather will arrive just in time for the weekend. Find out more on weather.
All those stories and more coming up on this Tuesday morning edition of DITV News.
Don't click away. It all starts now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Anthony Caligari.
And I'm Becca Scadden. We began this broadcast with breaking news. This just in, multiple major news outlets are reporting that officials believe they found the body of missing University of Iowa student Molly Tibbetts.
The Department of Criminal Investigation will be holding a press conference at 5 p.m. to talk about this major update. Please note that the body found has not been confirmed as Molly Tibbetts until further DNA testing. Check
on DailyIowan.com and the Daily Iowan's Twitter at the Daily Iowan as this case unfolds. We'll have updates from tonight's news conference tomorrow morning. Now, Iowa City Council candidates are gearing up for council elections at the beginning of October.
With a lot to discuss with community members before the upcoming election, DITV News reporter Susanna Kloster went to the event. She is live in the newsroom. Susanna, what can you tell us about this conversation between the public and the candidates?
Well, guys, the 2018 City Council election candidates engaged with Iowa City residents to share what makes Iowa City so great and what changes they're hoping to implement in our community. Taking questions from community members, locals got to get a sample of what candidates are hoping for. Council election candidates addressed community members about what their goals are if they were elected.
Imagine if Iowa City, we had a society where people felt safe. There was access to clean water and food, and housing, education, healthcare, and livable wages.
This conversation session was hosted by Coffee with Dan, a longtime resident of Iowa City who wanted to have an engaged inquiry with the community that creates a space for a thoughtful experience. Candidates' topics range from climate change and how to decrease our impact on the environment, to our local schools and how to break down education barriers.
So that we can provide city services that they deserve and to bring them into a school district that they're either having to go to county schools or they're having to not integrate into our current systems.
All candidates have experience working in our community, and many work full-time jobs or are full-time students. This laid-back conversational setting allowed community members to have an informal conversation with the candidates. Every candidate has so much to offer to City Council, so it will be interesting to see how the public votes. Elections are being held on October 2nd. Becca and Anthony, back to you.
Thanks, Susanna. The National College Health Association recently released their annual survey revealing that Iowa City college students partake in a higher risk drinking, marijuana, and substance use than the national average for 2018. The data was pulled from more than 700 students through the Department of Student Health and Wellness that reported high-risk behaviors despite the university's alcohol ban placed on fraternity and sorority Greek life events. High-risk behavior, defined as 5 or more drinks on one occasion in a 2-week time span, has decreased among students as the university's yearly numbers went down from 27.4% to 22.7%. The study also reports that marijuana and other substance usage is continuing to increase. For more, you can read Jordan Prochnow's story at daily-iowan.com.
The University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics has named Suresh Gunasakaran as the new CEO. Gunasakaran will begin working on November 15th if approval is passed by the Board of Regents and the state of Iowa. Gunasakaran is the current Chief Operations Officer for the University of Texas Southwestern Health System in Dallas.
On Monday, it was announced that Governor Kim Reynolds' inquiry for a presidential disaster declaration for severe weather and flooding has been approved by President Donald Trump. The declaration affects 30 Iowa counties. The White House announced yesterday that communities affected by the summer storms will receive federal aid for recovery programs and disaster relief. The federal aid will go towards repairing damaged public property and facilities, as well as debris removal. 75% of damage costs will be covered by the Federal Emergency Management Agency. And Anthony, yesterday seemed like it was just a continuous downpour, and I am ready to see some sunshine.
Yeah, same here, Becca. Let's see if that sunshine is coming back into our forecast. We have DITV's Kennedy Cook in the weather studio standing by to tell us more. Kennedy, what can you tell us?
Well, I would love to inform you all that yesterday's damp forecast was a brief disturbance in our regularly scheduled program. However, that would be a lie. But what better way to start off a fresh semester than 3 days of rain back to back? That's right, folks, 3 days. Taking a look at today's forecast, we will see a high of 82 degrees with a 90% chance of rain and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon. The low for the night will be a mild 72 degrees paired with continuous thunderstorms throughout the evening. Taking a glimpse into the extended forecast, we will see a high of 85 degrees and low of 64 degrees with scattered showers throughout the day. Later this week, we will finish with sunny skies starting on Thursday with a high of 80 degrees and low of 60 degrees. Friday brings us temperatures in the low 80s during the day and mid 50s at night, followed by Saturday slightly sunny skies with a high of 83 and low of 67. All right, so I guess the soggy forecast will only be visiting us for a few more days as the sun returns with open arms just in time for the weekend. So hang on tight to those rain boots just a few more days, but get ready to wear those flip-flops real soon. That's all I have for you in the weather studio. Guys, back to you.
The University of Iowa is considering requiring all freshmen and sophomores to live on campus. There are plans in the works to construct 6 additional dorms and 2 dining halls by the fall of 2025. With an estimated cost of $350 million. Ann Mathis, a spokesperson for University Housing and Dining, says they are exploring this option to increase students' academic success and create a support system outside the classroom. This requirement would also take the financial stress off students worried about signing a 12-month lease. To get more details, check out DailyIowan.com and the print edition on Newsstands Now.
Well, Anthony, I don't know about you, but I loved living in the dorms my freshman year, so it sounds like a great idea to me.
Yeah, it was great. You had all your food and all the comforts of home right there. So yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they do. With On Iowa Week coming to a close and the start of the new school year officially underway, freshmen at the university are starting their journeys away from the place they used to call home. DITV News reporter Noah Gowdy went to move-in week to hear what the process was like.
Oh my God, I'm gonna start crying.
Those are the words that could be heard around campus the last week as families dropped off close to 6,000 new students at the University of Iowa for the fall semester. Many of those new arrivals were freshmen who found their new homes in the dormitories on campus, and for most of them, this is the students' first taste of really living on their own.
Scared and excited.
All right.
Excited to be away, but scared not having parents bring me food or something.
Not only are the students' emotions running high, but also the parents as well, who are going through the process of leaving the child they have raised for the last 18 years of their life all on their own.
It's great. I mean, it's great that she's starting the next chapter of her life and learning, and couldn't find a better school.
John Leroy isn't new to the whole process of watching his children leave home to follow their dreams and has plenty of experience moving them into the dorms.
This is number 5, and of all the 5, this is probably the easiest move-in that we've had.
The move-in process can be a scary one, but the university utilizes the On Iowa program in order to get students into the dorms with speed and precision, a process they have come to perfect over the years.
It was great. It was easy. Pulled right up. It was raining a little bit, but we had a great parking spot, and the volunteers were right there. Loaded up. That was it.
According to On Iowa leaders, it only took about 20 to 30 minutes to get the students things from their cars to their rooms. Reporting from downtown Iowa City, Noah Gowdy, DITV News.
And while people are getting settled in for the year, the excitement for the upcoming Iowa athletic seasons is growing.
You're right, Becca. From volleyball to softball to everything in between, we have DITV sports reporters Natalie Acapeti and Will Silverstein standing by to tell us more. Guys?
Thanks, guys. Well, we're in day 2 of the school year, and there are a lot of new faces on campus, one of which includes Iowa softball's head coach, Renee Gillespie.
That's right, Natalie. This summer, the athletic department brought in Iowa native Gillespie, who had 18 years of experience as a head coach at the University of Central Florida.
While at UCF, Gillespie earned 5 conference championships, and now she's hoping to bring Big Ten championships back to Iowa City.
Here's what Gillespie had to say about the changes she's bringing to the Iowa softball program.
I know what we have to work on to be able to get the team where they need to be. A lot of it is, one is conditioning, making sure that we are the most physically fit, the strongest, the fastest team that we're going to be that we can put on the field so we can compete against the top Big Ten schools. So we got to get them into that fitness level, but we also have to get them to be confident and find that type of confidence that they need to be able to compete. I think over the years, the girls have just kind of lost that confidence and kind of doubt themselves. We don't want any doubting on this team. It's about getting the fears, leaving the fears, and moving forward. So that's really the point we're trying to get them to, is to leave everything behind and just keep moving forward.
You know, Natalie Gillespie is holding walk-on tryouts if you're interested.
Well, I don't know about this year, but maybe next year after I hit the rec a couple of times.
I can probably hit the rec a couple of times and I'd still set the record for strikeouts. The Hawkeyes kick off their fall season in a few weeks, where they'll face Gillespie's former team, Kirkwood Community College.
Well, in other news, the Iowa volleyball team is just a few days away from their season opener. And once again, they're looking at another challenging year in the toughest volleyball conference in America.
But head coach Bon Szymanski has a system in place to keep Iowa volleyball competitive this year. With more is DITV Sports' Alexis Gore.
This season, head coach Bon Szymanski plans to install true mental toughness in the culture of his team, including the 7 new incomers this season.
The beginning of every season with the same mission of developing true mental toughness within our group and with the same excitement. And there's 2 things that I know at the start of every season. One is that we're going to be better than the year before, and 2 is that we have a lot of different parts.
Team culture has been coming along very greatly. Girls are getting along really well, and I think the biggest thing that we've been trying to focus on is getting to know each other more personally, and that'll definitely help with team chemistry on and off the court.
The Hawkeyes will have their home opener September 9th against Eastern Illinois. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, this has been Alexis Gorth, DITV Sports.
The season opener will be this Saturday against Southern Methodist University in Nashville, Tennessee. Be sure to stick with DITV for more coverage from Iowa volleyball.
Well, that's it for us today in the sports studio, but come back tomorrow for updates from the Iowa football offensive and defensive coordinators.
And for a special preview of what to expect from this season from Iowa's starting quarterback, Nate Stanley. Guys at the desk, back to you.
The Iowa State Fair closed its gates this past weekend, but people are still talking about the food.
That's right, Anthony. I was at the fair for a few days the past 2 weeks. I tried the foot-long corn dogs, but I have to say my favorite was definitely fried Oreos.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, give me fried anything, and that's good for me. So, yeah, State Fair is awesome. More than 3,000 fair attendees participated in the Iowa Secretary of State's Paul Pate's annual State Fair straw poll.
On tablets across the fairgrounds, attendees voted for their favorite State Fair food, grandstand act, and Iowa's favorite celebrity.
Amongst the winners were the famous pork chop on a stick, a corn dog, and of course, cookies in a cup.
Country superstar Reba McEntire took home the crown for favorite grandstand act, while attendees voted John Wayne as their favorite Iowa celebrity.
And that's all we have for you on this Tuesday morning edition of DITV News.
Be sure to head over to DailyIowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday.
And also be sure to pick up a print edition of the Daily Iowan on stands now.
For DITV News, I'm Becca Scadden.
And I'm Anthony Caligiuri. Have a great day, Iowa City.